Sounds great.
All right, ready? 3, 2,
Put your phone away.
3.
Vibrate.
Shit away.
Oh, my bad.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another ALV podcast.
What up?
Follow us on Instagram.
This guy. You know,
when we need to take a photo, remember that? Photo. And then at the end we'll be like, hey, subscribe. Yeah, because this dude is fiending for a cartoon. All right, I'm gonna get you in the car.
On the way up, he was like, I just wanted a picture.
That's like 20% of me coming.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another ALV podcast.
What up?
Follow us on Instagram at Podcast ALV.
And to watch our YouTube videos, the link's in the bio. Click on it, check them out.
Definitely subscribe and like on YouTube. You want to listen to all the episodes, including this one right now, go to ALVpodcast.com. And here we go.
So we got some special guests today. We got
Tito G.
Tito G in the house.
ET1301, you already know.
Gang.
Follow him on Twitch.
Gang.
We also got our boy Thibu over here.
Byron Ramírez, el dominicano, ya tú sabes.
Ya tú
Que lo que,
sabes,
que
que
lo
lo
que,
That's
que lo que
exciting,
toque
bro.
fried chicken. Que lo que lo guay.
You gonna-
¿Eso arriba o ni aquí?
You gonna go see Aventura one day?
Que sí que, hell yeah, man.
Bro, that's, I mean,
So
bro,
the quarantine's over.
Bro, yeah. 2021.
No, but
that's like seeing Julius Caesar in person, bro.
Oh, hey, for Dominican?
Dominican,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like me and Mark
Yeah,
Anthony.
bro, yeah.
So I told Liz, I was like, listen, Mark Anthony is coming like in August.
That's tentative now.
Yeah, it's like
That's
August
up in
or
the
so.
air right
I'm
now.
gonna let you know about Mark Anthony. His concerts are like
Okay.
60-40. You might get a good one, or you might get a bad one, just
Yes.
depending on the
Facts.
coat.
No, don't say that.
Depends on the plug.
It's like Mexican Coca-Cola between American.
If he got good
Coca-Cola.
coat, you finna get a good ass concert. If he got some bullshit,
yes.
he finna go out there sing his 10 songs and get the fuck on.
I did go see him in Mexico and Tijuana.
No, man.
And it was the last show of his Latin America tour. And that, he killed it, man. He was like, he's on that good.
I'm sure.
Oh, he ain't that Mexican.
Tijuana took care of him.
Yeah. When I lived in Puerto Rico, every year he came and 100% solid. But then I think the last time I saw him, it was a little trash.
Check out that Colombia,
I'm not a big fan of it. It's okay, but it's like.
I think I went and seen him when he was with Carlos Vives.
Yes,
Him
I did
and
too.
Carlos Vives did it.
See, and we
And he was like,
and I laughed after when Carlos.
But Carlos
Vives
Vives did a trash concert. He rode around on a bicycle.
Yes, what is it? Alejandro Fernandez.
Yeah.
And
he's
once,
good.
and he was the intro. Left.
Hold on,
Flip
Mark
the bike.
Anthony was the intro?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Alejandro Fernandez?
Yes.
No, mames.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that. It was years ago.
And the Carlos Viva, he
Yeah.
was the beginning too.
Wow,
And
that
then
means
when
he's
it
getting
started,
trash?
no, that was then. And then he came out with a new album, and he was about to sing a very powerful song, and some dude fucked up in his band. He's like, wait a minute. I was like, oh.
No, but this was before Viví la Vida, whatever that song.
Yeah.
that was before that.
That was
Before
a couple years
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Hands down.
After that, he's been closing every show.
But when he sings Preciosa in Puerto Rico, with 99% of the people in there that are Puerto Rican, and 99% of the people in there have a Puerto Rican flag in their pocket, that's probably one of the coolest shit you'll ever see in your life.
That's pretty dope.
Hands down, the Mark Anthony song with Romeo Santos is probably one of my favorite songs.
That's a good song.
That's a really good song.
Yeah, that's a good
Chúpasela,
song. Yeah, mama said that, man. Yeah, Romeo.
I'm
That's
easy.
like-
I'm sorry,
man.
but this hands down, like salsa and bachata.
Hey, do you
are
remember
way better than any
concert?
Mexico.
Good concert, Victor Manuel.
Fuck
Whenever
yeah.
he comes in.
Hey,
I took my
100%
mom.
agree with that statement.
That is,
I actually
yes.
surprised my mom, and we went to the Infinite. The
Yeah,
Infinity.
and Gwinnett. No.
Yeah,
I went to that one
You
too.
know how though it's like, but it looks
That's a
like
good-
a stage,
that's a good,
not an arena.
yes.
It's
Fuck,
like
It's like the Fox Theater, but smaller.
yes,
Yeah. Right.
second row.
Right.
And I surprised
I
my
saw
mom.
Bad Bunny
I surprised my mom, and I got her backstage where she could
Was
meet
it
and greet.
Bad Bunny there? Or I thought Bad Bunny was in Phillips.
No, it was in Phillips.
Yeah, we
Fuck
went
that.
there.
No, it wasn't Phillips. It was
Imagine
Ozuna was
seeing,
there.
imagine seeing Aventuras Clásicos and freaking Atlanta Peach. Remember those?
Oh yeah,
Bro, that was like
that would have
back in
the
the
day.
Yeah, because in Atlanta Beach you can dance.
Yes,
you
it
got
was
the
open.
open.
Bro, he
Yeah,
would
that's
sell
true.
like antes que
Yeah,
super
yeah, it was-
vergas, güey.
I saw.
Those
I
were
mean, it
good
was
ass
a-
times.
I just got the house at that time. So I couldn't make it. My parents were super late that night.
Yeah, it was the same thing with like rumba concerts. Like,
Yeah,
fucking
same
those
thing.
were
Was that
fire.
where
Like
Pitbull was?
no,
Yeah.
people went to freaking Plaza Fiesta, the little what was it
Oh,
called?
the one
Right
next to
Where
the
the boxing
mansion.
is.
Mansion?
Well, it's called
Or
Mansion now.
Atrium,
It was called
whatever,
something
yeah.
else.
What's that
No,
called?
it was in the same plaza, güey.
Hey, what's that club in Crescent Ave? The big
Bulldogs?
No.
God, what?
Whoa, time out, man.
What
you do?
Yo, hey,
Wait, we know you kicked it.
I was talking about opera, but I mean, you can hang out there if you want.
it's around the same vicinity, but
Boy, no, it's not close.
he said bulldog.
Bulldogs in the whole Peachtree.
If you from Atlanta,
Any
you know what that
motherfucking
is.
way.
Let's get
cringe. It just got cringe.
So we're gonna move this chair right here, alright? We're gonna
It just got cringy.
accent.
He's letting me know. He's letting me
Oh
know.
shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, it's recording.
right.
Unfortunately, it is.
¿Qué onda, güey?
So yeah, how you guys been living now through this quarantine shit? What you guys been doing to maintain?
Easy transition, Junior. I love it.
Yeah. So
We had
Nah, everything's been normal, man. I've been working like normal, so
Yeah.
my life has been pretty much.
Well, any like anything changed from work? Like where you work?
Well, a
like you
couple-
guys have to stay
No, a couple of
because
my
you guys got a
jobs.
bunch of OSHA and all that.
yeah,
A couple of our jobs shut down, so I had to jump on another job site. But every morning they take everybody's temperature when you walk in.
wow with the
little laser.
pistol.
That's
Yeah.
the same. That's the same as
Yeah, so everybody before you walk into the job site, you gotta make a line and they gotta take your temperature. If it's over like 100, I think it's 100 or 100.
Yeah,
101.
You're not walking
101.
in.
Beat your ass at home.
Yeah, what the
Yeah.
hell are you doing up? You
You
know?
gotta go home.
But they call it an essential job because it's in the middle of Atlanta and stuff like that. So
all structural like work is considered essential.
Yeah, construction. All that.
Yeah,
but like 70% of our workers they're furloughed. So like they're at home, but they collecting a big ass check because they got. I think they added the 600 to the unemployment.
yeah, it's like
So it's
900 a
960.
week.
It's like 960.
I'm about to go
a week.
on
I'm about to
unemployment.
quit.
Fuck outta here.
I'm
That's
only
what I'm
getting
saying.
stressing, bro.
Yeah,
I work all
Exactly.
day, bro.
Exactly, man.
That kind of
We get
hungry.
they will get almost the same paycheck staying at home
Yeah.
than what they do working and wasting all that gas. and
Right,
stuff.
right.
The hard
Just
part is
chill.
that a lot of people are having hard times contacting somebody in unemployment.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man, yeah.
That's true.
You
Because
know,
I mean, they were talking like 17 to 20 million people filed for unemployment. That's insane.
An extra
bro.
4 million people did it last
Like,
week.
imagine being there Monday morning trying to file.
Well,
Like imagine the
So-
line off that.
today I had laid off like 4 guys last week.
Damn.
So
Damn.
they hit me up. I was like, hey, let me know when you guys don't get, the next week you guys don't get a check.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't get it this week. And they hit me up today, and I just told them, like, man, look, America hasn't had this many unemployment
Right.
claims all at once, so it might delay for a couple weeks, man.
Yeah.
So
Be careful.
I'll just hold on for
Right.
a second, man.
That's some pressure on
That's
you.
that's crazy
The
though.
head, the
People
head
trying to
guy,
get paid?
the head guy of the labor, the Georgia labor.
Yeah.
He was on the news and he said how they usually do about say 100,000 in a week. And all of a sudden it's shot. It was like 4 million, or
Yeah,
like a
man.
million, like one shot.
Damn.
I mean,
That's
think about
insane.
that. You know just that alone is just insane.
Yeah.
What about you?
I haven't suffered anything different. I mean, they have us working 3 on, 3 off. They got us putting on a lot of PPE on, like just the mask, the gloves. Be careful who you have contact with. That's on my job side. Now I have a business as well, which that's going pretty good because it is a sanitation company.
Nice.
So they're doing like, oh, we want extra cleaning, we want extra
Yeah.
fogging of the amenity areas. So I haven't seen any difference, but what I tell my guys, because I have one in specific, that he just doesn't want to come to work because I don't know if it's mentally affecting him, because this is mental too.
Yeah,
like I suffer from anxiety.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't want to hear what she's going through. I don't want to hear what the news says.
Right.
If I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it.
Right.
And whenever it comes, I'll deal with it when it comes. Because if you every day wake up and you're like listening to the news, it's 300,000.
You'll get it.
You'll go crazy.
You go crazy.
Or you'll mentally get it. I'll start, I feel like I'm getting short-winded, or I feel like I'm running a fever. So I don't want to, listen, you need to be lucky you have a job, because your check is guaranteed every 2 weeks.
Yep.
It's people that wish, even with all this going on, they could go to work.
Facts.
Yeah.
Because that $1,200 stimulus check, what does that do? Pay your rent? Maybe.
Maybe.
1 month.
Now what about all your bills,
Maybe,
your groceries, all that? What about that?
Bills,
water bills.
Even if they passed the $2,000 stimulus that they were talking about, that's still not enough. That's
Because at least Canada was doing every 2 weeks or
every week, bro.
Every week.
They passed some shit where it was like every week.
so they were helping everyone
But
out.
we can't. We
That's
can't.
what
We can't
we
be.
can't do.
But people need to realize we cannot be like Canada. We cannot be like Mexico.
Our population.
Bro, we cannot be like any of that. We cannot.
So this is where, even though we all benefited from it,
though.
this is where I see the problem, right? So you gave $1,200 to every American that filed taxes in 2019 or 2018. I was happy because that was free money to me. I haven't suffered from the stimulus of the coronavirus, so my money's still coming in.
Yeah,
Why would you give it to me? That's just a bonus to me.
exactly.
So now you're trillions of dollars passed out to even people, regardless if you're working or not working.
Right.
You should have passed it out to people who are only working. I mean, who only lost their job or are affected directly from this. Servers, waitress, strippers, all that. Like,
Tattoo artist.
somebody got to come in. I got y'all.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
got y'all.
he's like,
Hey, Dollhouse, we're picking it back up.
Rob Ollie said
Support small businesses.
But no, for real, because
Open a business.
you're passing out money.
MagicCity.com.
He's gonna start a
You're passing out money
GoFundMe.
to people that's not
It's
really
true.
affected.
Actually, the ironic part is that Liz got one. I haven't received one yet.
I ain't gonna get one.
Well,
Hey, he ain't got one. He ain't got
that's
that-
either because you didn't file in the last 2
Like
years.
I file every year. Yeah, but
Garnish that,
but
child support
I
we don't know
no, not at all, not at all.
That 1,200 that 1,200 goes straight to the baby mom.
Yep, facts. Oh, dang.
But I looked at the quality, hey, if you go to IRS, it says the reasons why you wouldn't.
Right.
I'm like, I don't have any of those. I think the issue with me
Probably
is
a
that
paper tip.
if it comes in the mail, it comes in the mail. But the difference is they're doing direct deposit. And last year, I had Bank of America, and this year, Liz and I have a joint.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can
They
see.
probably
holding
got
it.
your last fucking bank account.
I need to call them up.
Yeah.
Like,
They got
hey,
your check,
Bank of
bro.
America.
They're gonna be like, yeah, SOL, bro.
Yeah. Fuck it. I mean, I don't need it, but it's like, hey, if it happens, it happens. But
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and that is a very, very good point.
Yeah, I mean, like what you were saying, like where, I suffer from anxiety too. And it's like, all you see on the news is like bad fucking news. All you see is numbers of death and contaminated people. And it's just like bad news after bad news after bad news after bad news, that if you're constantly like looking at that shit, you're going to get fucking depressed. You're going to get fucking, especially if you're like unemployed and you're watching the news like every fucking day, you're seeing like bad news and shit. Like, that shit is like mentally fucks you up.
Have you seen CNN? So CNN has like a ticker on the right hand
Ticker
side.
now, yep.
No
And
way.
every time that there's a death, they post it in the case like a minute by minute update.
way.
And it's like that's an anxiety like.
Bro.
But what's
Like,
crazy
But
is
But they do it on
that's the
purpose,
news
though.
against Trump.
Exactly.
Like, Trump cannot do fear at all.
fear can control humans.
Oh, all day.
Right?
Yeah.
So this whole thing is happening, right? If you do the number of deaths per the number of people who got it, you're at a 0.2, 0.3. But why are they pushing it so hard?
Right.
Well, what's the agenda? What's the end game? That's what we always
There's something bigger
talk
behind
about.
it.
you
Right.
know?
And it's,
Well,
okay.
So since you guys are the guests and we talk about it all the time, what do you think do you think there's an agenda, or if you do, like, what do you think it is?
So I'm confused, right? But I thought about something the other day. Because I took it serious once the sports started shutting down. That's $1 trillion business. So I'm like, what do they stand to win if they're losing trillions? But if you're losing billions, trillions, but in the future you gain to add more than that, hey, I'll take an L right now and make it seem like we're all suffering. What in history has had this effect? Nothing.
Society being swung.
Nothing has ever shut down sports, period.
Right. Like a random.
I took it serious once they shut down Vegas. I was like, Vegas is shut down.
That's when the mafia's involved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas is run by the mob. Like, regardless of what anybody says,
Vegas. Okay, but the mob. But sports is ran by the major.
Well,
I mean, that's not the mob.
All the billionaires. Billionaires.
Billionaires, right. The people who run this country
right.
It is behind the sports. And they're like...
I feel like maybe this could be a practice run for something bigger later on.
I always said that, man.
Because, hey, they're like, hey, let's see how obedient can people be.
Right. And we're so obedient.
We're very obedient.
We are so obedient.
Every celebrity's
in
America, and especially in America, everybody got guns. You know, we own 70% of the world's guns, basically, in the U.S.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, hey, if we can do it in the U.S., man, we can probably do this worldwide. So... I mean, I don't know.
You think about it.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But who created the word conspiracy?
The CIA.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's such a loose.
But
it is. It's
generic.
It's real generic.
It sucks because they throw the word conspiracy out to things that actually have facts behind it, and it's like, well, why is it a conspiracy if there's actual facts? There's actual proof to things that they consider conspiracy.
I don't want
like Bill Gates. There's facts behind
that whole vaccine shit.
The whole. What do you believe or not believe?
Well, about
like the idea, like when we're talking about how Bill Gates.
I honestly believe that Bill Gates is in it for profit.
Yeah.
Since day one, I mean, he had a cute. Bro, he had the biggest Microsoft battle, like in the '90s, early '90s, when OSs were becoming popular.
Yeah.
Dude, he had a huge battle with a few people, and he won because his dad was part of the fucking
that 1%.
Like honestly, I don't want to be insensitive to the whole topic because I told us to everybody.
Man.
No. I told us to everybody. I'm like, I'm not worried about it personally. Like personally, I'm not worried. Like I feel like my immune system is A1. I'm built like a tank. Like I don't get sick.
Because you're Dominican.
But exactly, it's that Mama Juana, man. Like you ain't gonna get me.
Right.
But the only thing that gets me is like, it's catching the older people. Like, it's just like any other flu. It's just like any other
bacteria or virus.
Are we getting rid of people who don't matter anymore? That's the thing.
Well, you know, we
old people don't put nothing forward to the
people with disabilities.
It could be the same thing as the regular flu.
Well,
the regular flu hits the older people.
Hey, gang, hey, we're live, hey.
Zone 6.
Hey, what's a gulag?
We're in the gulag, bitch.
We can come back to the gulag.
With the rocks.
I did not know what it was like 2 days ago.
Notice nobody hit the deck, though.
Hey,
easy. Hey,
have you been watching us live or not?
Oh my! You get one motherfucker.
Do you click on the link?
And I watch.
I ain't gonna lie.
Fuck that. We had 8 views, 10 viewers.
I watched it one time. I thought it was I was trying to like.
No, I think we're funny.
I thought it was a recording.
This shit's live. I'm like sitting there watching Happy Feet play.
Listen, imagine watching me, Reza, Adiel. Just talking shit.
Just with you and Adiel.
I don't understand. We would have so many viewers if they knew who we were.
Adiel's vocabulary is killing me,
bro. Adiel makes the game, bro.
Hey, he's like, go get a USB. I'm like, what, nigga? USB? UAV?
Yeah. Like, he thinks, like, when we play FIFA. Oh, my God. And I can't understand a word that dude says either in Spanish or English.
I've been friends with him for 14 years. I still don't understand.
Hey, man, that's my boy.
No, he's my guy, man.
Oh my God.
Like, and mind you, the first time I ever met him was at the baby shower too, and this motherfucker came in with spiked.
Oh my God!
Yo, this is it.
Was it the Gucci?
Yeah.
The Dorothy Gucci's from there. What's that?
So what? You just came in rocking
When she clapped the shoes together.
Dorothy.
Yeah, Dorothy.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
I've seen pictures. I've never met him either.
That's not even his worst ones yet.
The first time I met him, he had that shiny ass shirt. And then he had these.
Eso se cuesta $1,000 pesos.
Yeah. Then he had those spiked Gucci shoes. I was like, what the fuck is this dude?
You gotta see his off-whites.
Man,
He has all the orange tags on.
That's dope.
I'm like, bro, take those off. No, my girl said keep them on. Yeah,
But good for them, man. They're living the American dream.
I didn't want to put the price tag out on that. Man. It's insane.
I was like, fuck. My eyes are
It's a
blown.
house note.
Oh, all day.
Crazy.
So, one of the biggest things that we're noticing, and I like the fact that every time I like the idea that every guest that we get on, especially what's going on now, we can ask them, like, how's it been? Because now it's been a month and like, what, a week? And the more and more we get into it, the more information comes out, you know, the more it can be a struggle to people. Because, hey, we might have our jobs now, but who's to say what's going to happen at the end of May, right? And it's almost becoming the norm. And when we talk about conspiracies, something that I found fascinating, especially when we talked about the Bill Gates, was the idea that they're purposefully, like the ideas they're putting out there is that they're purposely trying to isolate people because they're getting used to it. Because one of the biggest things that Bill Gates wanted to do, you know, based off the information, was microchip people. Yeah. And if you microchip people, right, the best way to know it's them is if you're isolated, because they can know. Because all 5 of us here together, if they had a satellite, it only looks like one. But when you're separated 13 feet, 6 feet, whatever, because remember, that even came on the news. They were like, oh, 6 feet's not going to work. We got to make it 13 feet now.
They're like,
right?
bruh.
And now you're watching.
Jumps?
Yeah.
But there was a thing where a company started microchipping their employees.
Yes.
And supposedly it was just so the vending machine could recognize them
Okay.
and all that. But even if they do that,
It's
let's say they do that, there's always loopholes and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But my biggest thing that a lot of people were talking about, especially with the vaccine, right? Mm-hmm. Like Bill Gates, like they said, Bill Gates was trying to push this vaccine, and you know, good for Trump and the what's that one black dude's name? He's the
head of the
health organization.
Yeah.
And they came out like, no, we're gonna stop using his like whatever it's called, his platform, right? When you think about it, if he did have a vaccine in his back pocket and he pulled it out, right? Now, because all this has happened, think about the control. That's what I look at. I'm like, well, listen.
Control
if you
and
work,
profit.
yeah, if you work like at
he's gonna
a
get all
hospital,
the profit.
Yep, or you work at some sort of like big company, like, hey, listen, you cannot come to work unless you get the vaccine.
Yeah.
So think about how
it could
serious
go
that is.
into law.
You
know what I mean? It could go into law, and now you
you're
have
forced
to
to do it.
force people to get the vaccine.
Well, I'm forced to get a flu.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
We have to get a flu shot.
Hey, they're taking our temperature. We cannot walk into that job site without taking our temperature.
Exactly.
We can do the same thing with the vaccine.
But think about how quick that temperature thermometer
went into
that
effect.
shit never. That was just
I didn't
invented.
even know that existed.
That was just invented.
No, it's been around because we use it in our industry.
Yeah,
The only thing about it is
but
the calibration can be off.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Like
before
a
back in the
radar
day
gun, like
when you can go to court and say, well, when was the last time you calibrated your gun?
Right.
And if there was 30 days out, they'll throw the speeding ticket out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I can go buy a gun and this one could say 98.6 and this one could say 106. So, I mean, that's all a manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not about being forced. Like, if they bring out a vaccine, people are voluntarily going to go for it.
Yeah, because that's how
point,
programming goes. They're like, oh, we need to go do that.
Because they're showing you, they're showing
feel
you,
safe. Yeah, I can feel
Back to
safe.
the fear thing.
Yeah.
I can feel
You
safe.
control with fear. I've always said that.
Because you're showing people constantly like all the death toll numbers, all the numbers of sick
And the
people,
fake ones.
and people are like, "Oh no, fuck that!
What's
I'm
our
gonna
next
get
move?"
vaccinated because I don't want to catch this shit ever again." But then who knows what the fuck's in the vaccine? Like, they're
But
just
even
gonna tell
with
you,
the
"Here you
flu,
go."
you get the flu shot, you can still catch the flu.
Exactly.
Because
You're more likely to catch the flu.
Yeah, because they inject you with the flu,
Yeah.
like a small amount of the.
there's always
of the
been a lot of
virus.
rumors like that, especially with the flu shots. Like they force, like go to your Walgreens, go to CVS, go get a flu shot. There's always been rumors, especially in the conspiracy theory world, like with David Icke and all these different people who are saying, hey, they actually put shit in it for the next thing that's coming out. So like when H1N1 came out,
Yeah,
prior to that,
that.
when like the swine flu came, H1N1 was actually in the swine flu quote unquote vaccine.
Oh, wow.
So then when it came out, you're kind of susceptible to it already. You know, that's why you started to see people like the news saying like, hey, somebody had it, they recovered, also they got it again. You know, the one thing that tripped me out the most, I don't know if you guys saw it, was those Asian dudes that turned black.
Oh, I did see that.
Oh
You didn't see that shit?
I did see that shit.
Yo, like it's been
That shit
huge
was
on the
insane.
news.
Like these dudes caught the fucking coronavirus.
They
and
gave
were
them a vaccine
in the hospital, and
What do you mean turn black?
their
No,
skin, their
their
skin
melanin.
pigmentation
Remember,
turned-
because
they had melanin.
their skin is
They were
melanin.
like,
So
dark.
their melanin went in overdrive, and when they woke up, they were black.
yeah, like dead ass. The news that a lot of Asian like homeowners or whatever, they were kicking out like black people, like. They were kicking
I
out
saw
their
that.
tenants.
Yeah.
Like they were like
In
putting
China.
in China.
they were
Yeah,
doing that.
I was
Bro,
like,
fuck
what
China.
the
They were
fuck?
kicking them to the streets.
Yeah, like
The thing that upset me the most watching the video was one, it was an Indian broadcast, right?
Yeah.
So that they're Asian as
Indiana,
well,
America.
right? But what upset me the most was seeing the words they used.
yeah.
That's the thing that people have to like literally. I watch the news on purpose to see what they're gonna say, because I already know what's going on and I understand
Yeah.
it. But the words they were using, they were like, oh, they were making it like if black was bad or
Right.
disgusting or
Yeah.
dirty.
Like it's a
I'm like,
downgrade.
Right, yeah.
Like, are you
Like
fucking
it's a
serious?
downgrade, yeah.
Because it's
You know,
like,
you
I
have
think
to
they
do-
mentioned it was like, they said to their disgrace or
Yes,
something. Like,
yes.
they
To their
woke
detriment.
up.
To
Yes.
their detriment.
Like, they woke up like, you know, melanated.
I woke
was
up like this.
Yeah.
What?
I walk out like this.
I'm like, okay, so you wake up melanated.
If they would've turned
that's a
white, it was
bad
like,
thing?
thank God.
Yeah,
Thank God
like,
we turned white.
out of here, bro. Like,
You know,
But that's a perception, man. That's
yeah, it's all
that's a
perception.
That's a worldwide perception, man.
yeah,
It's
man.
just
It's like
people,
anywhere you go.
the
Yeah, yeah.
stigma.
The Dominican Republic,
The
the Dominican
stigma.
Republic, I always find fascinating with that because out of all countries, especially in the Caribbean, the Dominican Republic focuses on a caste system more than anybody because the darker you
Yeah.
are, the poorer you are.
Yeah.
The lighter you are, they automatically
got
assume
money,
you
yeah.
got money.
Yeah.
You know, and that is huge in
But
New
hell,
York.
isn't that
That's
everywhere?
everywhere.
That
Yeah.
is everywhere.
And the thing that upsets me the most is like, especially like in the DR, like you see it in Puerto Rico, because like for example in Puerto Rico, you have a whole section of nothing but dark Puerto Ricans because that's where all the slaves
Yeah.
live.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, that's what I mean. That's why our original basically color is. We're mestizos. We're Taino
Yeah.
Indians,
Taino,
Africans,
yeah.
and Spanish. We're Africans that speak Spanish.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
literally.
With Indian descent. So at the end of the day, yeah, we're gonna be darker than usual. But at the end of the day, the perception in the world and the whole worldwide, it's not only here in the U.S. Here it's just
Yeah.
more. It's just more amplified.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just because of the South.
People
Because
were
of
in
the
the
media.
South.
Yeah.
We're-
Well,
and
especially
definitely
in
because
the
we're in the
South.
South.
we took something from 0 to 100 like super quick, like
Yeah.
from worldwide.
Well.
Taken from the 60s, the 70s, and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. So
I love the like how a lot of people are starting to repost when Governor Kemp had his campaign. You know, I'm
Bro.
gonna put because remember he was one of the ones that had that van.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
yeah,
that
that
was
is
right.
Picking
We
up
had the
the
bus.
And I was trying to
Yeah,
figure
yeah,
out
yeah,
why
that's
everybody
right.
was okay
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Stacey
Like,
Adams was going up against this fucking dude.
Yep.
And this dude fucking
He's like, oh, I
lost.
got an immigrant
Well,
Not only
bus.
that, he
but
was
that's
like,
the
hey,
thing.
I have a truck big enough to fit a
It
few
was a
illegal
school bus. It was a
immigrants.
school bus.
Yeah.
They painted
Yeah,
black.
it was a school bus.
They made it look like a jail one, but
Bro,
you gotta
it was
remember,
his, but on the commercial, it was his.
I remember the commercial,
the
man.
commer-
He was
Here,
picking them up.
Here,
They were
here.
picking
Hey,
them up.
listen, it was no bus. The commercial was his truck, his
Yeah.
own truck.
Yeah.
Talking about he's gonna throw illegals.
yes.
Back of that
He's like, I got a truck big enough where I can
o
pick
sea,
up.
o sea,
And mira, he got no,
man.
he got no,
Like,
yes, he got no.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
he got no.
so imagínate donde vivimos.
Look,
Yeah.
and
You
we're
can
still,
you can scream, shout, do all this bullshit. They ain't gonna change shit, bro. There's too many of them. So what are you gonna do? Just chill the fuck out.
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
can't, though.
You're gonna
You know
be
how
out
far-
here yelling Stacey Adams, and look like a fucking idiot, and then they're gonna win?
You know how
Like,
people.
But
fuck
you remember
that,
the
man. That's
conspiracy
like
with
a horrible loss.
The Stacey Adams was a big deal too because you remember he was not only he led the voting like what was it his job before he became governor he ran the voting
the voter
you know,
registration.
yes, the
Yes.
voter registration.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was this huge conspiracy already where they were
He
trying
had
to like,
inside people already.
yeah, where they were trying to fuck with shit to make sure that he won because she was winning in the polls.
Yeah.
And that was
supposedly
one of the
there was like, you know, like there was poll whatever they call it where people couldn't vote or they had to go far as fuck to vote, so a lot of people didn't vote.
Well,
and it was like
it's called voter suppression.
That's what it was.
Telling us how we should live, opening up all this shit, but he opens up shit.
For the
What about
minority?
For the minority
companies,
bro.
What about country clubs?
Tennis salons. What about tennis salons?
And tattoo parlors.
Tattoo parlors, barber shops, and hair salons.
Okay.
And strip clubs.
Strip clubs. So check this out, right? I stopped watching all the
news,
the news, and when he came out and all that. Okay, so I watched it this one day because he hadn't been out like in 2 weeks, which I think was the last time he came out.
Yeah.
And they made it a point to say that minorities were higher risk to get it and die.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay, why? Hold on, and then they said high blood pressure, asthma, and all that. Okay, and I suffer from asthma, so that's why it triggered me, and I was like, you know what? I don't want no more TV.
Yeah, because Corona deals with your lungs.
Right. So then, check this out.
That's why I got you guys.
Why do you think it affects minorities more than anybody else?
Why do you think it affects? Well, you know, one of the biggest things. Well, two things. Hold on, two things. First, you have to remember that Kemp's wife owns a beauty salon. And one of the things they want to open up was salons. So I thought that was kind of coincidental, right? So to answer your question, one of the biggest things is that originally a lot of like African American, Black people, and Hispanics were like, "Oh, we're not going to get it because it's really a white thing, right?"
But we then, actually get it the worst.
Yeah, but then they were like, "They get it."
We don't.
Then
I'll tell you what.
Okay.
Who do you? Hold on. I want him to finish. You're on point with the first one.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that people have to understand, because now you have a lot of people of color getting it, right, is that people of color, Black people, Hispanics, we're in these communities where we're the lesser, where no one gives a shit about us, right? So it's easier for us to get it. I mean, there's multiple reasons, but one of the biggest ones is it's easier for us to get it, right, because of the scenarios that we've been put in. You know,
that's broad.
The access to healthcare?
No. Hold on. Which are what?
What are you talking about?
Shit.
Because I'm gonna just make it. I'm gonna simplify it.
Simplify.
You were right about the first one.
Which was what?
I can't remember because I was drinking.
Wow.
I'm ready to juice.
The first we're gonna rewind it. But look, the second one is who do you see working right now? You see white people working?
Yes.
Hell no.
You see
They're
all the minorities at Walmart,
McDonald's,
at
Taco Bell.
construction sites. Yeah. So if you do the math, we're the only ones working while most white people are at home.
I was actually
that's why we're the ones getting sick.
Yeah. There's actually a protest going on now.
Unfortunately, I cannot agree with that.
How about
why? Why would you not agree?
Because my company's mostly white.
Okay,
they all white.
Well, that's different though. No, yes.
Exactly.
Okay. What's the math? What's the percentage of white construction workers
compared to Mexicans?
It's more.
But what's this?
White construction workers is more
than like Latinos?
Okay.
Maybe commercial.
No. Yours. But I want to talk about.
I work at the clinic. Hey, listen. I got COVID-19 above us. I work in the tunnel, and I got COVID above us. And you need all this bullshit to get through. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm in there with white people, brown people, Black people, whatever. We're in the same fucking boat.
You're in a medical facility.
I know.
But you guys
who's at Walmart?
But we're all in it together.
Not
the same amount.
You
The same people
that are elderly at Walmart
at.
than anything else. I see what you're talking about because, like, for example, right now there's been protests going on because a lot of minority workers have been protesting that work at McDonald's, Taco Bell, things like that, saying, "Hey, listen."
No, but fuck that. Stop saying that. We don't work at McDonald's. We don't work at Burger King. We work at freaking Emirates. We work at good ass.
Besides the people you work with, but how many other people do you interact with that you don't know?
No, I'm talking about the whole, like, let's say the whole job site. We got 400 people on the job site.
Yes.
All right, the only Hispanics, the majority, is going to be sheetrockers.
That's probably because your job does background checks.
No,
but those are higher.
You can tell him. All basically the sheetrockers are Hispanics. And that's it.
Yes, but Okay.
Plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, iron workers, concrete. Most of them are going to be in whites.
So here we go. So think about this.
Basically.
So do every single employee, the Latinos.
But now we're expendable. We infuse it.
No, that's fact. So from the white, black, Hispanics that you have at your job, right? Do they all go through the same process of applications, interview, pick them and see who's the best qualified, and you pick them up?
It's all about who you know. Okay, it's the same thing with me.
So think about
it's the same thing with everyone. It's not about race anymore, bro. It's who you know and what imprint you
get. It's the same thing like the Tesla, man. It's the point that he's making is that, like, for example, if I own my own lawn company, right, as ignorant as that sounds, and I wanted, or construction, and I wanted to go to Home Depot to go pick up some Mexicans, right? All of them. Or Guatemala, whatever the fuck it is, right? Yeah, that's just gonna go on the family chat real quick. Whatever. I'm gonna pick up some Latino X, right, from like Walmart or Lowe's. But that's the point.
Hold on, let him finish.
But that's the point he's making, is the fact that we all work at very high-end jobs. But you're talking about the guy, because we talked about this last time. You talk about the guy who is willing to have a 101 degree because he needs to feed his family. Right. If he's sick, he has a potential to fuck up everybody else that you're going to pick up. Because if I need to pick up 10 people for a job because I'm going to mow like some millionaire's lawn, right?
I'm going to make it simple.
Am I wrong or
what
am I
is
right?
open right now? Before today, what is open?
Fast food.
Fast food. Yeah. I wish I would see a white person. Not a trailer park white person, a real white person.
Yeah.
Huh?
Chick-fil-A all white.
Yeah,
but Chick-fil-A by my job is all black.
But
80%. Can we say 80%
is all white?
So I'm sorry, hold on.
That's a whole
you got white
for another
and
time.
then you got other white. So you got white, corporate white.
High school.
Oh yeah. You know. I think instead of race, we need to focus on class.
Shout out to
yeah, like social classes.
Yes, I don't think because the higher class and the upper middle class, they're gonna vote for Trump. They're gonna vote for.
I'm gonna vote for Trump because he gave me $1,200.
And I'm waiting for my next $1,200.
You gotta keep it 100.
I'm gonna give you
I'm working like a motherfucker.
I'm gonna give you a bottle of Clorox, alright, so you can disinfect yourself, alright? While you're at it.
You shoot up some Lysol,
I got Lysol already up my ass.
That's your president, right?
With a journalist,
idiot, man.
We're the 45.
Well, my thing is, how is something that can be killed by washing your hands with regular soap and water?
Bro, that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Listen.
We cannot find a cure.
Listen.
So, Mr. Doctor, PhD, Freddie Carrillo.
Man, he's like a janitor at Emory. That's it.
He's trying to janitor.
He just wears the Emory shirt. That's
I'm getting fired on fucking Monday.
Bro, I'm over here at work like, nah, we good. They got a vaccine. They didn't want to let the public know. But I got insider sources. This motherfucker got me fucked up.
Yeah, but this boy's mopping the floors while he's hearing everything.
He's got a little headphone in.
I got inside information, guys.
Hey guys, y'all hearing me?
But to move on past this, right? If this doesn't show us anything, is that we need to have two sources of income.
Facts.
Yeah. Because if we depend on one thing, situations like this happen.
Right.
Okay. So they say you need to have 6 months of savings worth. In your bank.
Don't start with that.
Now these companies have already asked for bailouts within the first month, and these are multi-million-dollar
first
companies.
2 weeks, man.
Delta, American Airlines, all that good stuff.
It doesn't make sense to me. Banks make I don't know how many millions of dollars profit a week.
$3 billion.
How much? A week? How much? How much is that?
I think it's a week or a month.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter. How the fuck are you asking for a bailout?
Yeah.
So I always tell people, number one, you should always have a credit union. Because there's a difference between a credit union and a fucking bank.
Yeah, they care and they don't give a fuck.
Well, besides,
pretty much.
But the thing is that when, like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, when you put your money in there, they take your money and it's invisible. And it goes to the stocks and does all this other stuff. That's the reason how, like in the Depression, when people were like, "Hey, I didn't take my money out. Like, we don't have it because the shit's gone." But credit, the reason why everyone could look it up. The reason why they made credit unions, right? It's just like a union, right? A workers' union. It's like, listen, you put that there, you're guaranteed to get that shit back. So if anything ever pops off, if you have your money in a credit union, you can take it out.
So correct if I'm wrong.
Zones, whatever.
And I'm fucked up for not knowing this.
Shout out
but I thought
FDIC.
all banks are FDIC insured up to $250,000.
Say it again.
I thought all banks and financial institutions are backed FDIC by $250,000.
Yes, they tell you that because I even called up one time and talked to my bank about that, and the guy tried to do some fuckery about like, oh, you're guaranteed because I forgot what happened. It was some.
We know you got over 250,000.
Yeah,
we know, but still,
this podcast though,
man. We starving.
This podcast ain't free.
Yeah. So there was.
Hey, saw that painting.
Yeah.
What's going on? Auction.
Data design.
Go online and start bidding.
Hit me up. If you need a cartoon like this motherfucker over here, you can hit me up too. I got you. Logos, graphic design, websites. We got
Where that pic though?
Yeah.
Chinga tu madre.
I was like, that's crazy.
That shit was like close as hell. Like
he went right over. It probably got droplets on the fucking camera screen and shit.
For a second, I was like, he's not gonna do it. No, he did it.
It's funny. He's like,
it's gonna look good.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought about. That's gonna look fucking good.
This is it.
But something happened. Like money disappeared or something happened. I asked. And they were like, wait. And they were like, oh, they have like this fucking sentence.
I can tell you. Were you married back then?
Yeah.
Oh, she took it.
No.
Damn.
Got him.
It's funny. Like I love. Just a side note. I love the fact of joint accounts, things like that. No, I do. I really do. But you should always have a separate one too. Like to like collect stuff there. Because I have the joint, then I have one that just collects if I want to just buy shit. And. But it sucks though because if I want to like surprise my wife with something, I'm like, fuck, I don't have enough in that one. If I take it there, she's gonna fucking know what I get.
Fucking up.
Yeah.
So the way I do it, the joint is strictly just for bills, and then because here's the thing, everybody wants to say you need to put all your money into a joint account. The thing is, like you said, you want to put all this money in here, then you only got $250 you're saving every paycheck or $500 every paycheck. And you can't do what you want to do.
Right.
So what I do is we split our bills. Boom. This is what our bills are. Give us ourselves a cushion. And this is what you're putting in every 2 weeks. This is what I'm putting in every 2 weeks. What you do with your money is your problem. What I do with my money is my problem.
But then you got joint savings though, right? Where
you save on your own.
Huh?
You save on your own.
See, I think.
I got a joint savings.
Yeah, I have the roommate plan. Yeah, I have the roommate plan, but it backfired.
It's true.
It works though. It works though for me because I'm in the belief. Yeah, I'm in the belief that the only thing that keeps me sane is my hobbies.
Yes.
And my hobbies can get expensive.
They're expensive.
Right.
And it's none of your business as long as everything in this house is getting paid.
Strippers.
Strippers.
Sneakers.
I pay y'all rent.
Hey, dollhouse, open the fuck back up.
That is called, my friends, petty cash.
It's like, I need my W-2 from you guys.
So, let's say you want to go to the strip club. I'm not saying you would.
No, I had never.
Shut up.
Right. Okay.
Honestly, I've never been to
and you don't have a private account or whatever account. And it's like, what did you need $300 for? Saturday night at 11:59 when you do the withdrawal from the ATM on Roswell Road on Wells Fargo over there
with the 20% withdrawal fee. It's like, boy, you be like, $5. I want to be like, cancel, man.
It's like $5.
Not that I ever been, but I would be like, cancel.
Yeah, I would not do something. 8-ball with your dad?
You got me fucked up. $5.
Yo, what you 8-ball with your dad?
It's all about who you marry with or who you co-partner.
It's about trust too, though.
Because if you have somebody who just splurges their money, and at the end of the day, you know they're going to spend. If they have $1,000, they're going to spend $1,000.
You got to control that.
Then I'm not going to have $11,000 in savings, and you have $500, and then you lose your job. Now I have to pay all the bills because you got Louis Vuitton red bottoms or whatever.
Nope.
I'll spend because I'm just an idiot sometimes. Like that's why we got 1,000 Amazon. Yeah, that's why we got 1,000 Amazon boxes coming like once a day. Yeah.
No, but that's to his point. Like, you know, that's to his point.
And I started getting into guns. So I'm like, yo, Freddie.
But
like,
the thing is, you have to control yourself.
Yeah, you got.
And what's crazy is, with me personally, the more I save, the less I want to spend.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know why that is. Like, the higher you get up there, be like,
no, because you set a number and you want to be like, damn, I want to reach that number.
Yeah, right. But once you got to 5,000, you're like,
I want to go 10.
10. Yep. Now it's 15.
Because
it's a hobby. It turns into a hobby.
Yeah, it's simple math. Because we look at it, we're like, yo, like, if we have all our bills paid, you know, the house is paid, things like that, we can put 1,000, let's say, or 2,000 or more a month, you know, like a month, let's say, in the savings. Next thing you know, by the end of the year, we have like 20,000 saved in there.
That makes sense.
And people, a lot of people don't have the mental mindset of like, yo, if you just did this small amount, by the end of the year,
they don't have
you're
the discipline.
Good. Yes.
The financial discipline.
And not only that, it's okay, my situation, why I don't have a joint savings, which we kind of do, but our personal savings are way bigger. We have a business, right? Like I said, I'm way more of a hustler than she is. So why would you think that we're going to split, if I went and go get a new contract, that we're going to split this shit 50-50, and your ass ain't went nowhere and did nothing, but you're still getting money off the first 2 contracts?
I look at it, well, you know what?
No, it's true though.
I agree with you. And I think it works. I think it works. The 80-20 rule. It works for some people, but I think, like you said before, if you rewind, it depends on the relationship you're in.
Yeah,
you know, because the thing is that
depends on the person.
Yes, and because like me, like I love my wife. I love her like more than anything. You know, I know Freddie's over there. It's fine, but it's one of those things where everything is, you know, honest. Everything is equal, and it doesn't matter. Right. You know, this guy, and it is what it is. Like, yo, she'll call me up like, hey, I'm about to go buy this. I'm like, cool, go ahead. Or I'm like, hey, I'm about to go buy this. Hey, cool, go ahead. You know, but then we will also communicate with like, hey, listen, like, I'll give you a stupid perfect example. My fucking headphones for my PlayStation's all fucked up. Right? I can only hear out of one of them. She's like, hey, just wait till the next paycheck. You get whatever the fuck you want. I'm like, cool.
Hey, is this
you know?
Is this a shout out or what are you doing?
No, listen. My goal is every single podcast.
Is that why you say you suck at 2K?
No.
Only one word.
Right quick. Call Savvy.
Don't you listen?
Shout out Savvy.
I
feel like I shouldn't have to.
No, you.
My
you
mindset.
Shouldn't.
But see, I grew up in
it's different though, because you still need to like. It's all about communication. Okay. Because if you guys are, it's different. Like you said, yours is like bills. You have your own.
Right.
Like in my situation, it's almost just about everything.
Right. Okay.
Right. So I'm like, hey, listen, you know, we have this amount right now that we see in the checking.
Right.
Okay. Do I really need this now, or can I wait? Let's talk. You know, like, hey, listen, because remember, there's a difference between needing something and wanting something. Mm-hmm. Right, and a lot of us, it's more about wanting something.
Yeah, and I mean that goes into what I said. It goes financial discipline.
Yeah,
about like having 6 months into like, you know, savings and all that.
Yeah,
like it's not realistic. Like in the society that we live in right now, because as you can see, 17 to 20 million people are unemployed right now. That's unrealistic. You know what I mean? To have 6 months of savings, because if you think about it. Most of those people are minorities that, you know, don't make more than like, let's say $18-20 an hour.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I got you. All right. So
devil's advocate.
No. With that being said,
that's not unrealistic.
The last,
I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say that because the last 4 or 5 years, the economy has been going up.
For sure.
It's been going up.
Yeah.
And I think everybody had in the mindset that this is how it's gonna be the whole time.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
And this may be the wake-up call that everybody needs to be like, hold on. Here's the rainy day. Remember the rainy day fund? Guess what? We're in a rainy day right now.
Yep. Here's the irony. Because I remember when Trump was in the office, and a lot of people instantly started saying, watch, something's gonna happen, like a recession or something's gonna crash. Everyone said that. Everyone said that within his term, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And look what's happening. The thing is that
he held it down.
yeah, no, but did he though?
I think
You know what? A lot of people.
No,
It's funny this is happening
Like,
right at re-election time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's you think about. We'll get into that in a second.
Let me just throw it out there before you like go 2 hours.
No, it was 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
I'm gonna shoot
2
a real
minutes.
quick one.
It better be a quick load.
Honestly,
it better be a
dude,
quick load.
when I look at Trump, bro, I look about 80% of my friends. 80% of my friends, Hispanos. No, you, Abdel, Esley. I mean, all my friends say absolutely no. It doesn't matter. I mean, no. At the end, it doesn't.
He's a convert.
Listen, dude. As nos duele un chingo, güey. Pero Donald Trump, he's just like us. He's a shit talker. He's just like us. He would sit here if he was Hispanic.
But
if he was Hispanic, he would sit here.
Should he be running the country?
Hell no.
But who should actually be running it?
Somebody.
What did Obama do for Chicago? Nothing. Chicago's trash. That's where he was born, and he was president, and he could have made a change.
But at least he was professional on TV.
It's
like going to a job interview and be like, "Fuck you."
You
know,
you rather get lied on.
Here's the thing.
You're the leader of the free world.
Like I always tell people how deep down the rabbit hole.
I'm done. Hey,
Listen,
yo,
Hold your breath, dude.
The fucking burpees on it.
the whole time, dude.
Hey, listen,
Donald Trump.
it's the Reformation Jews. 9.2. Going into
I can't even be serious because I'm fucking. Who can be serious?
It's fine.
But
Anyway, what you gonna say?
So,
What the fuck did he do with Chicago? This is where I'm from.
Pinche Chicago.
I didn't understand a word you
Fuck
said.
Chicago.
I just heard the hiccups.
No, there was words in the hiccups.
Yeah,
You
there
just
was,
forget
there
it.
was.
Sorry,
You gotta slow it down.
All the important stuff
slow
was
it
in
down.
the
No, I agree with, to an extent to what
Yes.
he says, but when it comes down to it, to me, that's what, like Trump. For some stuff, he's done good. Like I try to be objective with some stuff, because hell, I'm not
it's
Republican. I'm not Democratic or anything like that. So I can look outside the bubble and be like, all right, hey, this is right, this is wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, fuck you.
But can you stop hiccuping?
I can't stop.
Hold your breath, bro.
At this point, man, just lay that one part out, man. That's it. No, but as the U.S., as the leader of the free world, I would like our president to represent us in a professional manner, man. All right, don't be telling people to inject yourself with Lysol and Clorox, all right? And tell them, hey, let's incorporate heat and light into a cure. And
Let's put it inside your body.
Or take information.
This motherfucker was like, get in the tanning bag, you'd be good.
Dude,
Like,
I went to Europe last, a year and a half ago, and everywhere I went, and they were like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Oh, from the U.S."
No, you say Dominican Republic, motherfucker. Or
No.
Spain. You never say U.S.
No, because I knew it was gonna start a conversation.
Right.
And I said, "No, I'm from the U.S." He was like, "Man, how is it over there?" Like that was the number one question. Hey, how's that going over there, man? I don't do that.
No, because when I went to Europe, it was way pre-Trump. And it was one of those things, they hate Americans.
Yeah, it was.
But I had to lie and say I was from Spain. I had a lisp and everything when I spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
But you get the best deals.
No. You speak Spanish, yeah.
Like, so what I was saying was that I always tell people, how deep down the rabbit hole are you willing to go? Because the thing is that, yes, that's
How
it.
deep does it
Because
hurt?
people are like, hey, Trump this, Trump that, but a lot of information you start reading, they always say that the last true president we really had was Kennedy. Right? From Kennedy
That's my
back,
favorite
you had
president,
that.
man. My
But then
favorite
everything
president.
afterwards, like when you talk about like the Bilderbergs, you talk about the Rockefellers, you talk about all,
He's just trying to smash
no,
and
but
dash.
but the thing is,
The
it's like
fucking Marilyn Monroe
I-
was like, no.
But he represented U.S. the way.
Yeah.
man. It was.
But you think about his State of the Union address. When you think about the State of the Union address that Kennedy talked about, he was low key read between the lines talking about the New World Order, the Bilderbergs, the Rockefeller, all those 1%.
CIA, FBI, and all that stuff. He was like, hey,
It
watch
was
out
all
for
he was gonna bring shit, a lot of shit into the
and
light.
that's one of the reasons why they say that he got assassinated, because he was about to put all that shit out. Whether it dealt with Area 51, whether it dealt with aliens, whether it dealt with all that shit was about to come
Big
out.
brothers listening.
Yeah.
I don't think he says fucked up in the head things. I think he just says them how they first come out.
He shoots
Oh, he
from
thinks
the
so.
hip.
Yeah, he shoots from the
He
hip.
shoots from the hip.
Seriously, he's
But-
like us.
So it's
You
like,
know,
it's like if you think of
He
something
cannot
and
afford to
tweet
be
it.
like us.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
cannot afford to
But
be
he
like us.
can. The only thing I
No,
have,
he cannot.
the only thing I have
He's
against Trump.
representing 300 million Americans.
But here's the thing:
Think about how
But we're all the same. Are we all like Obama?
the only
Are we
thing
all like
I have
Obama?
against
Okay,
Trump,
it's
Okay.
not the
he
point.
promoted
Okay.
racism.
Yes.
That's
He
it. That's
was
the only
a
thing I
bum
have
ass
against
sister.
him.
Okay, yeah.
We're not
But
like him.
financially, he
Hatred.
made good decisions.
Hatred, not
But
racism.
he
hatred.
amped up these
White
left
supremacists,
all
alt-right,
that. Right.
you know,
Yeah,
can
He
you-
amped them up.
like, how, like,
Okay.
I
But
see
besides that,
people-
I don't see anything else he's done wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so check this out, right?
Well, there's a lot, but
So
No,
we can go.
no.
done-
Financially,
but he
financially,
hasn't
he's
really
listen,
done anything. All
listen,
he's done was
listen,
sign.
listen.
Was
Ride
sign
Obama's
Okay,
bill.
The most
okay.
racist
Right.
people.
Okay,
I've
but he
ever
kept
seen.
it going.
Obama.
He could have started shit.
My boy died.
Check this out, right? So my thing is,
wild, right?
yeah, my thing is for someone to become president, I feel very strongly they have to serve in the military.
Yes.
100%.
That's how it used to be.
I feel like
that's
this
how
opened
it
up a
used
door,
to
though.
be.
I feel like this
Because-
opened up a door.
Yes, exactly. So
For the
Trump,
negative, though.
listen.
Yes, for the-
so exactly. So
Yeah.
Trump being this fucking, celebrity of
TV
a person,
star,
TV
right.
star,
Yeah.
to
Magnet.
become president, that just opened the fucking door for any
Kanye West.
clown,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Kanye
Yeah,
West
yeah.
to want to become
Dwayne The Rock
president.
Johnson.
I understand this is a free, we live in a pretty free country and
No.
everything,
Fuck
and
Listen to
anybody
me.
can achieve what they want to do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a position like that, to where you're running an entire fucking country, to where you have to meet with people of other country, other leaders, I think it's paramount that you think about the people and not just what you think is right, and you say what the fuck you just feel like you saying out of nowhere.
and
You know what I mean? Without actual
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
Because he just, like you said, he's a shooter. He shoots from the hip. You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of times, like what he says has no research or no thought behind what he's saying.
No, there's research. He gets a lot of
he
shit.
knows-
No. He has people that fucking write his shit for him. Okay.
Yes, that's
he
what-
has
that's
people
what
that
he's
fucking
writing.
tell him, "Hey, you gotta say this."
What
this,
won
this.
him the election, though?
Huh?
What won him the election?
From
What's the
shooting
one
from the
thing?
hip.
No. What's the one thing that won him the
That
election?
he was popular.
Racism.
Huh?
Racism.
Racism.
No,
No,
and he
exactly.
was
What
popular.
was it?
Racism.
Racism.
Huh?
People
Racism
who never
specifically.
voted in their life went and voted because
Because of
he was
him.
racist.
That's fact.
Yeah.
Because
Which
he said,
was
"Build the
true.
wall."
Build the freaking
Build the wall.
Why?
Never
Because
happened.
that's the root and that's the base of this country. It's always been that.
Yeah.
So how many?
And he tapped into that. He
Yeah.
was like,
No.
hold on. This is the South. You got Texas. You got Georgia, Alabama. You got all these conservative, the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
Dude. And on 2020, in the election right here, even with the dumbest stuff that he has said right now,
Oh, he's gonna win.
they're gonna
gonna
vote
win.
for him.
He's gonna win.
Because
Exactly.
exactly. It does not matter.
Now I agree with you with the whole military background, but I also disagree because at the end of the day, a president is like a rapper. He's like an image. At the
Yeah.
end of the day, he has counsel.
Yeah.
He has people. Okay, let's say I never had any military training. There's what's the highest ranking?
Yeah, the
He
general,
goes to-
4-star general, things
The
like that,
general.
yeah.
Okay, what do you think we should do? That's what a smart supervisor,
Their
a manager,
opinions, yeah.
he goes to his smartest person and be like, hey, what do you think we should do?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, I think that's a good idea. Let's just do that.
It's like a mafia. He's got a whole bunch of consigliers.
Yeah. He's got a
all
whole.
it is.
That's why actually a lot of people
Advisors.
He's not the smartest.
Yeah.
But
he's
the only thing I do agree,
He's an image.
I mean, I also agree with him is the military gives you that professional training.
Yes.
That, I can't just say this. I have to think about what I'm saying because it has repercussions.
Ethics and
My
morals.
team
not
could
even
die,
that.
or,
It's
you know,
it's also
ethics
it's
and morals.
No, yes, and it's also the idea. Like, listen, I know what war is like. We don't want war.
Yeah.
We got to have another option. That needs to be the last
it's like,
thing.
bitch, I wish you would. I'll press this button.
That's facts.
Here's my
I
code.
got this red button right here.
Let me
My
QR
finger's
code
itching.
that. Let me scan it in.
Kim Jong Un say, I won't press enter.
So that was one of the things that actually people have been talking about now. One, getting rid of the electoral college. And just being a straight vote.
That would be perfect.
Hillary
I don't understand.
As hell, though.
Because they always say, the people's vote count. It doesn't fucking count.
It's bullshit.
It doesn't count. Because it all goes to the electoral college and their vote counts.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Let me just say something real quick. Hey, before you go off to whatever you want to say.
2 hours
You cannot compare anything.
2 hours.
You cannot compare World War II. You can't compare anything to what we're living right now.
But that's not the point.
We're not going
No, but you're trying
We're not
to.
going to.
No, but you're
Fear,
trying
that's
to
it.
compare. Okay, it's
Fear.
okay. Everybody knows fear.
Okay.
You control with fear.
Okay.
Listen,
I
what are you
scare
talking
everybody.
about?
I'm gonna control you guys. That's all.
20 years
I
ago.
know that.
All right, Freddie. 20 years ago, would Donald Trump have been a president?
Hell no.
20 years ago.
I'm so scared
not
if
a
I get your
chance.
hiccups, I'm gonna leave.
Really?
That's fear right there.
Okay.
We went from Franklin D. Roosevelt.
hiccup is
We went
like
from
really
Harry
my
Truman.
swag.
We went to John F. K.
Okay.
George Bush.
Okay.
All those guys are tier 1 politicians. Tier 1. I mean,
But they had
American
agendas too.
made.
though.
Okay.
There was
Okay.
agendas behind those.
It's okay.
There's agendas.
Let him
But
finish.
they're
Let
American
him
made.
finish
Like,
what
they're
he
just,
does.
there are
what?
for president.
Ignore my.
Oh, God.
This is horrible. Bro, cut this fucking film. Cut the fucking film. We're cutting the fucking film.
Edit.
We're going fucking live.
Go. I mean, your explanation is going to take two hours right now, so
Yeah.
go ahead and
Yeah.
start right now.
So, because
Hold on, let him finish.
no, I got it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like
Let
20
your
years
guess.
ago, 20 years ago, Trump would have never been a president.
Right.
All right? But he came into his world, and now we turned this. We're back to the 60s and the hatred of the 60s again. All right, probably.
It flipped on its head.
I think it's
You have
decreased.
no idea, and neither do I.
The hatred
what
has
they
decreased.
went through.
No.
I'm sure nothing what we go through now, they went through.
No, but we have a snippet.
Nah.
No, but we have a snippet of it.
Hey,
We
for
would
sure.
have never
Yeah.
thought that we would take a step backwards. We have taken 2 or 3,
Yeah.
just with the hatred.
Yes,
Okay,
we did.
I agree.
And
yeah,
we're 50,
Chile.
and
No,
we're
no,
50 years
Chile,
away
Chile.
from
We
it.
did though. We did.
You know?
But right now, okay, so at the beginning of Trump's campaign, I agree with you 100%. Right now, the discrimination and the hatred has toned back down to what it was before Trump.
It flatlined.
It flatlined.
But
Okay.
no, it did this.
Let him
It did
finish,
this,
let him
and it went like
Finish,
this.
listen.
Right,
That's what I
but
said.
it's not what it was when he first started. When he was running campaigns and they were doing all this shit to black people.
Dude, I've had to hold my tongue. Because we work in the industry.
Yeah.
That's
And
a-
you're talking
We're
like the
country
people that are.
bump, like I'm
Yeah.
talking about they have the American flag in their arms.
And you're talking,
man.
these are like the people you have to answer to.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And we
And
have to
that
hold
goes
our
back
tongue just because they
what I say.
look down on you because they have the right to look down on you.
Does that-
Because of what
But,
Trump has
but do
said.
they really? You know, my ex boss was super red.
You can't
Man,
compare
it's
Time out.
anything.
You're on time out, bro.
Listen,
Don't
listen.
drink some-
Listen.
You need some milk.
Give him a glass of milk,
Hey.
bro. Yo.
People only have as much power as you give them.
You know,
Exactly.
So
understand
if
that.
they know you don't care or you don't need this job, they gonna respect you.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
But
I understand that.
The point that Byron is making is that our industries are different. See, we're in an industry
We're in
where
the front lines of
like
that.
the people you work the ranks as your experience goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Right.
you can have a dumb motherfucker that's
Your
been working
field-
for a company for years,
Right.
and he's at the top.
Your
Right.
field
And
is
now
politically
you
correct,
may know
right?
more.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
may
Yeah, you
fucking
can't-
be
you-
more
But is it
educated.
though?
But
That's
you
the
still gotta
question.
answer
That's
to
it.
that dumb
No,
motherfucker.
his is
Mine-
politically correct.
Yeah,
He doesn't see ours is raw.
Yeah.
Ours,
Right.
man, boy, yo, you
Yeah.
you talk bad to somebody, hey, parking lot's right here.
Yep. Let's
All
go.
this can come off right now.
Yep.
That's how it is.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I'm
you
cool
got
with
a big
that.
old bird.
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
no,
all right, let's go.
I'm cool with that part,
Yeah.
right? Okay. But what I agree with y'all, I don't know if this is what y'all were saying, is we have, in our careers, we have to build up.
Yeah.
So right now, you might be making 89,000, but you know if you get fired, you might have to start all over.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, all right, I'm gonna watch out with what I say because I'll have to take a pay cut back to 50,000.
You gotta hold it
All
together.
because of who
we
you
don't
are.
have degrees or we don't know nobody or they don't care if you were with a company for 10 years. You were just a lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You were just a...
Now we do have
Where
more power now.
if you have degrees, you're like, okay, I went to school I got a master's
it's
in
a big,
graphic design.
it's a big middle finger to that.
Yeah.
It's,
for sure.
it's okay, I just have to restart back at 100,000.
No, but I still have to do the same thing. Because I give you an
But
example.
your restart button starts at 100.
Yeah.
Our restart buttons might start at 40, 50.
40, 50, yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So now we're used to 80, 90, or
Right,
100.
because they might
and
be,
be like,
I can see that
eh.
because like with me, with me, they're looking at my art. They're not necessarily who I am until I actually get into the interview itself.
Like I
all you
said,
have to do is take that picture and you're good.
like I said, it's all depending on the industry that you work in. Because, you know, like, Freddie might be totally 100%, you know, right about what he's saying in his industry. You know what I mean? Which is 100%, it might be 100% true. And then in our industry is a lot different because, you know, like I was saying, it's
unedited.
raw. It's, you know, we work construction. So you have to, depending on your skill level, is at the, you know, the position that you're in.
And the rep you built.
And the rep that you built. Exactly.
At the end of the day, before we get into Jordan, because I'm really excited for that.
Oh, we're about to get into Jordans?
At the end,
I'm about to show you I don't have Jordans right now. I was looking at
I got the flip
flop. About me, the best Jordans.
He's got the horda.
I had the 3s, the 6s.
No,
You got the horchata.
Because the thing is that
That's
every single one of us has said something that if you literally, you know, did your research, read a book, did this, you would start seeing that it would take you to someplace else. That at the end of the day, it starts to show you, like, listen, people with dark melanated skin, which all of us are the true people of this world, of this planet.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you suppress for thousands of years, right, that type of we ain't shit, people are going to start believing that.
I've always said this. And it might sound racist, but it's not going that way. Why do black people have Black History Month? What during Black History Month? What is?
It's petty.
Pointed out. No. You're reminding them that they were enslaved.
Yeah.
So you keep that hatred in them.
Yeah.
When
it's psychological warfare.
When people go to fight,
when
when UFC fighters go to fight, they can't be negative because you don't know how to counteract. You can't go into a situation mad because that it clouds your good judgment. Yeah. So it's like every year, hey, you were a slave. You need to hate the white person. It's like you're reminding them.
That's a good example.
And they're making remember about Harriet Tubman.
Watch this video. Watch his roots. Oh, white people used to be.
Or look at the fucking Oscars. They're like, what is it? Like every couple of years, a black person wins.
If you break from that,
they're playing something bullshit.
If you break from that,
break.
You're unstoppable.
Yes.
I agree.
That is
100%.
That is 1,000% facts.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. People need to open that door, walk across, and just wake up.
Yeah. Because you can't be limited to, Black History is just for a month. Like, no, motherfucker. Yeah. Black History is Black History.
Yeah,
you know
what I mean?
Guess
what? It's history. It's the past.
Yeah.
Know your history.
Now this is where I'm going with it.
History is his story.
Right.
That's so. And guess who writes that fucking story? A lot of times it's people that are not melanated. Mm-hmm. Who writes the textbooks? Who writes the books? Think about it. The majority of textbooks that you'll find in high school, guess where they're made? Texas. Guess who's writing them? Because 90% of the shit that I got textbooks still. And 90% of the shit that you write in there has already been proven false.
Okay. So I got a question.
Man,
coming straight from that. Coming straight from that.
Everybody. No, you're going to a rabbit hole that we can go in for 5 hours.
No, but look, that leads to this.
And
they say most businesses fail in how long?
3 months?
6 months.
A year?
No, 3 years. They say most businesses fail in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go Google it, what is that saying? Why would I open up a business if more than likely it's gonna fail?
It's automatic negative.
So it's like, I'd rather just collect this check and I'm guaranteed this money.
Yeah. Right.
Instead of me investing in myself. Mm-hmm. And me and him had this argument. You like stocks. I'd rather go buy a 4-wheeler, flip it, and see my return within 2 months. And it works for him. Yeah. What he does works for him. What I do works for me. It's two different people, but we're not scared
to
exactly. At the end of the day, we're not scared to do what we have to do to make more money, not depending on nobody.
Yeah. Because what it is, it's short term and long term.
So it doesn't matter. It might be. He's a day trader, so he can see $200-300 in 2-3 hours, where I don't have the patience or the time.
Right.
So that's his niche. He's like, okay, I'll do this. Where my niche is, I'll go buy that for $1,000, fix it, and make $2,000 in a week.
But think about how boss someone could be if you take both of those mentalities and put them together.
No, but it's a different.
No, but it's the same mentality, but in different ways.
In different ways.
One's longer, one's shorter.
I don't see the way he does it. I don't think it would work for me. Just like he doesn't see the way that does it for me or work for him. But at the end of the day, we're still making profit.
Yeah, it's the same.
But the cool thing is that, like, for example, one of the things that Freddie's has been really good at is like Bitcoins. Like, he taught me about Robinhood, for example. Robinhood is a great app where it makes it so easy to get into stocks without even you thinking about it.
Right.
And he saw something that he literally told the entire family, like, yo, go put $200 on U.S. oil, right? We're like, fuck it. So we took $200, put it in there, and you don't think about it, and just let it kind of work, and then it gives you an opportunity. If you see something or you read something, you might do it. So you think about it, your situation, it might not work, but because of the fact that his is working behind the scenes, if you downloaded the app, for example, right, and you took his advice, you can continue doing what you're doing, right, making money right there in the short term, but then at the long term, you turn around and do that.
It's all in the person's hustle.
This stock is $5. It was like
it's all in the person's
You need to find your niche and hustle the fuck out of
Exactly.
it.
It's all.
You don't have to quit your job.
Bro,
You don't have to have a storefront.
Yeah,
bro.
If you want to start a business, an LLC will cost you $300 to start.
Yeah.
Bro, I flipped sneakers,
That's it.
bro. Like, that's my shit. Like, I flipped fucking Yeezys from $200 to $1,000.
Boom.
Like,
Easy.
in hours,
and they're
bro.
fake too.
No, fuck out of here.
DHPace.com. eBay handles Rambo 1216.
But you know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about. It's the hustle. It's like, find your niche.
Yeah.
If you know how to flip shit, if you know how to fucking find a way to make extra money, it's all in the hustle.
Find a hobby that makes
It's
you
all
money.
in the hustle,
And
bro.
that's the biggest thing that a lot of people need to understand in this time right now. Like, you're literally still in the early stages of 2020. We have a coronavirus that's going on where
This is the
But a
time.
lot of people are finding out how to hustle.
yeah.
Barbers are like, okay, I don't need to work from a shop. I'm gonna go buy a trailer and cut
Or
people's
come to
house
the
out
house.
of
Or just upcharge and do house calls.
Upcharge you, a la verga.
I just paid $45 for a haircut. I look stupid as hell, don't I? But that shit look good. It is what it is.
I got my haircut right
You have
here.
to shift your business acumen to something else.
Okay.
I ain't gonna
Now,
lie,
peep
that
this.
shit worries me. I'm like, oh, this shit's not good
Well,
for
do you
us.
contract work?
Huh?
Do you contract work out?
Shit, I'm gonna need
Myself?
Okay, yeah. Does your company contract work out?
Yeah.
Okay. You start an LLC, $300.
Mm-hmm.
You know people. What do you contract out?
Installation.
Okay, installation. How many people do you think takes to do installation?
Like 6 to 8.
Do you know about 6 to 8 people that know how to do installation?
I can find
Anybody
them.
can do
find them,
installation.
Guess what? Now you don't have to contract
Yeah.
it. You can put a business in your girl's name, your mom's name.
Yep.
Find those 6 to 8 people. Now all that profit's going to you because guess what? Those people that are working there are making what, $20, $25 an hour, while the company's making what, $100,000, $200,000.
Oh, they're making double what they're
That's
paying
it.
their employees, bro.
Do you know what
That's all it is.
do you know what a CPN is?
Yeah.
A CPN is like a social security number, right? And it's
Okay,
legal.
yeah.
It's called a credit personal number, right? So every famous fucking person in the world, right? When, like, Mariah Carey, for example, if she wanted to go buy a car, she's not going to give the fucking dealership her actual social. She gives them a CPN. How do Asians? Now, this is all
I'm trying to see
Asians.
where you're going.
Now this is
What
all
I'm-
Asians.
alright,
You have Asians that are Indian. You have Asians that are Russian.
Okay.
You have Asians that are Chinese.
Right.
How do they come over as immigrants, right? And next thing you know,
Got a business.
they got businesses,
fact,
they
yeah.
have restaurants, they have gas
Gasoline
stations,
gas
and all those
stations,
things. But then you have black people or you have people of color like us that we want to start our own company and we get denied, but our credit can be pretty legit.
Okay, but that has to do a lot with mentality.
How?
Okay.
I just proved
Okay,
it.
sorry, but Adiel can be a number one prospect to tell you why mentality has to be.
Yes, he can.
Bro, seriously.
But he
it doesn't
looks
matter
Croatian.
about.
He
Bro,
doesn't
you
look
can
Cuban.
be. How does,
know?
Well, when he
I see
talks,
where you're going.
No,
When
I
he
see.
talks,
No,
where
I
you're going.
understand.
Right.
But that's
I know,
It's
that's not the
confidence.
norm.
It's confidence.
That's not the norm, though.
Right, I know where
that's
you're
like
going, but-
that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
It's like a
the
fucking curvy
small
road, though.
percentage.
Yeah, it's
You gotta look at the big
you
picture.
Can't, but you. What I'm trying to say is like because we're Hispanic, it shouldn't be a hold off. Like
No,
because
no,
we're
it's not.
Hispanic, it should be like un encomio, man.
And I agree
Como
with
like
you.
We do have the reputation of being hard workers.
But yes,
for
and
sure.
we do. But
No,
the
but
thing
fuck
is
that. We
that
should be more than that. We're
if
hard workers and we're really fucking smart.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
We're
can
leaders.
handle
We could
a
be
lot of
leaders
shit.
in that.
Yeah.
But say
Yeah.
100,
We are
say
fucking
100,
leaders.
say 100 people do it, and
But it's
90
really hard to become a leader when you have all these fucking obstacles.
Yes.
Yes.
And say 100
And
people do
everybody
it,
knows
and
what they're
98% of people get denied, but 2 people do, right? Which is like your Adiel and let's say you, right? You can't be like, well, look, those 2 did it. What about everyone else? It needs to be
They were
equal.
scared.
And the thing what I'm saying, and yeah, and
Fear.
the thing what I'm saying is, besides fear, and but then it's like, when you talk about the social and the racial programming, they see them like no,
It's mental.
and automatically they'll deny.
Yeah.
But what the CPN does, the CPN
Eliminates all
eliminates all of
that.
that.
You can't deny cash.
You can't deny it because the CPN doesn't show who you are, what you are, right? Where you come from, you know, what race you are. It just sees your credit score.
I understand what you're saying.
We're both equal.
No,
Don't
I
get me
get
wrong.
that. I get that. But what he said, you know, cash knows no race.
No.
You know what I mean? So,
But
like,
your credit
you're
is
playing,
1,000 times better.
Nah, fuck the
Nah,
credit,
no.
bro. Fuck the credit.
Cash.
No,
cash
that's
rules the
bullshit.
world.
Bullshit.
No,
Why?
no,
Yeah,
that is
nah, bro.
bullshit.
Listen,
Because,
nah, fuck that.
Because
that.
cash has
Fuck
no
that.
value, and we know that.
No,
Well,
50%.
yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But for minorities, cash talks.
Cash rules.
Yes.
everything, Yeah.
Anybody
Yes.
else?
For minorities.
Yes,
For minorities.
but how hard is it for minorities to actually get
Not
cash?
at all.
It's a
You might have to flip 2-3 bricks, but as long as you say your money,
Yeah,
It's easier for the white people to do it with credit than it is for us with cash.
slang a couple dope and get out of it. Slang some dope and get out of it.
2-3 months. 2-3
Yeah,
months.
that's all it takes, bro. He's got to know the right connects, and just tying everything into it is, you know, it's just the
Well, that's
hustle.
nice.
The hustle
Well,
in
that
every
sucks
person.
because, like, I feel like a lot of people relate to our own experiences. and
Yeah,
shit
for
like that.
sure.
I mean, like, fuck, they should be part of it.
Yeah, yeah, I
and
agree with you
We said
110%.
Dude, we've said it in our chat because we got a chat with day one stuff like that.
There's 1,000 chats.
No. But I'm saying like all of us as a collective group and our friends, our circle, we all have done great for ourselves just because we're just not worker bees.
Nah.
We're all leaders in our.
Yeah.
And we try to push each other.
And in the community.
Yeah. Everybody, we're not just okay. We're mopping, all right,
Nah,
no,
hell
or anything
no.
like that.
We're
We're
cleaning
actually,
toilets.
Yeah.
we're in that Emery, just like that.
I'm not wearing a brown suit.
It's great, man.
No, but in the industry that we are, man, like everybody is calling shots. Eric's is in charge of a whole apartment complex. You're a freaking Emory University. He's in DPR. He's almost a superintendent, foreman. He's like he wins like 200K. I don't know where he's at. He doesn't even get a stimulus check. He doesn't even get a stimulus check. That's
They
how
say he
much
made too much money. Yeah, that's why he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Fucking artist, bro.
F y'all, because I'm not even in the chat. But it's okay.
No, but that's how
I'm only 4 years in. You guys are like 15.
No, but he's saying that, like, within
no,
the
I get it.
circle,
Yeah.
it's like,
our whole group, and I can mention Abdel's like a freaking leader of Chick-fil-A and
Yeah.
stuff. Everybody's a leader in their own thing, and it's all because everyone pushes each other to be better.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right?
for sure, man.
Everybody.
And
I
that's-
appreciate
I
that
see
for
him,
sure.
and I'm like, nah, I gotta do better. 'Cause
Right,
I gotta keep not that it's a competition, but
No,
it's like
no.
I'm keeping up.
Yes.
because I'm not gonna stay behind.
right.
And on top of that, if we're lacking on something, that's where we become a little bit vulnerable on that chat where it's just like, hey, what can I do to be better in this? And everybody throws their 2 cents in.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, and then we incorporate that into the way we have to lead.
Right.
All
That's
right?
fact.
And I've gotten so many things from Abdel, from hey, you should set goals and do this for your guys and stuff like that. You incorporate that stuff,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, hey, you're climbing up that freaking
That
ladder
ladder,
right there.
facts.
But you also have to remember, though, a friendship, especially friendships that you guys had for years, right,
Yeah.
is also a relationship.
Yeah.
So when you
for
when you
sure.
talk about a relationship, it's about the communication. It's about that growth. If you succeed, you want your boy to succeed too. Because the thing is that
Huevos.
I want the whole team.
Because the thing is, if
Yeah.
one succeeds and everyone else isn't,
No.
guess what? You separate.
Nah, but we never roll like that.
No,
I'm saying
no,
the
but we
team.
never even
You know what?
question
You know
that.
what
Like, it's
keeps
just-
it together?
Everyone
No,
wants
yeah,
it to
I
go.
feel you.
we roast the fuck out of each other.
That's true too. But that's
And it hurt. Hey, it hurt.
I got tough
At times,
It goes
it
down.
But it
hurts.
puts you in reality, and I tell my girl this all the time. You don't have a real friend because they don't tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Exactly. It goes,
If you don't
it
have
goes down
somebody
to
who tells
two
you the
things.
truth, you're gonna think you're right all the time.
It goes down to two
Yeah.
things: honesty and loyalty. If you have those two things in your circle,
And sometimes I might
You're
tell you
golden.
something that you don't like, and you, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
but you
Right.
married
Come
her.
on.
But you married her.
And now, like 3 months later, you be like, damn, this motherfucker might have been saying something.
Right,
I should've,
exactly.
you know.
because they
And you
hate.
DM him, you be like, yo, I think you're
You're
right.
right.
I will never forget it because when I was in college, right, I had a professor that was just like that. He's like, I'm going to dog your shit that you make because the thing is that I'm not your mother, right? And
no
when you go
babysitting.
into the real world, your boss is going to do the exact same thing. So why the fuck should I sit there and try to sugarcoat something, right? And well, that's not
That's
that
not the real
that's that
world.
coddling mentality.
Yeah.
that's not
There's
the
a
real
well,
world.
you know what? And the fucked up part is, not all of us, but some people obviously they're raised like say just by their mom. They don't have a mom and dad. That's a whole other conversation. But it's like when you get that coddling mentality, right? Everything gets sugarcoated.
Everyone gets a damn trophy.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Generation.
which is and
Stupid.
that
Talking about
that
trophies.
stems- yes.
Have y'all seen that Jordan fucking
God
documentary?
Holy
Six
shit.
rings, bro. 6 rings. Hey,
That damn segue, though.
That's like
You like that? You like that?
Statement.
that was a Miguel Cotto like knockout fucking punch. Now get the fuck out of that shit.
Closing statements.
No, we're not
but-
done yet.
Oh,
you trying to
shit.
leave?
No, but yeah,
Hiccup has to leave.
On this,
Say
on
bye,
this
Hiccup.
segment, on this
Here you go.
segment, that's what it is. Hey, as a minority, we just have to do just better. That's it.
Yeah.
You have to
And
find your
don't-
niche and keep
Hustle.
it. That's it.
And
Hustle.
don't
Yes.
have the chip on the shoulder, man. Don't view yourself as a victim.
And don't be scared to lose.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm glad you
don't be a
touched on
victim.
that.
Don't
Yeah,
ever,
glad you
don't
touched on
ever
that.
be a fucking victim.
You're just
it
like
doesn't
everybody
matter how
else.
deep you are into shit.
Come on.
Don't ever be a victim.
Everybody has
Thank you,
problems.
dude.
Everybody
Nunca
has
se ha
struggles. Some may be
Salita.
worse than others. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's all about how you overcome all that shit.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It's all about the end game. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
You know
Latino
what I mean?
gang. Latino gang.
Latino gang.